by Hutchie's Builders.
Well, welcome to the Power TV game of the week. I'm Andrew O'Brien. It's the OBN Cookie Call. We've got Terry Cook. He's a cookie out of the OBN Cookie Call. And, of course, beside me is Gary Lawrence. G'day, fellas. How are you?
Yeah, great, Obi, and good evening to our viewers at Power TV Australia and the Sports Club match of the day here at Father's Ranger Oval.
And, of course, the teams are running out now. Big night here at Father Ranger Oval at Warwick. And this is a wonderful crowd, as you can see with the photos and the filming there. Referee Sean Toowoomba, who's one of the better referees. Well, I won't say better. He is a very consistent referee. Actually, no, he's on the sideline. It's Martin Beldo. That's right, Gary Lawrence, isn't it?
It is, and I was surprised to see that. But it's good to see that they've got referees capable of stepping up and doing great things, and it's good to see that they're educating and giving opportunities, because we spoke about that earlier with Timmy Bliss about, and also I was talking to Peter Tozer about the referees coaching and supporting.
And the vision you can see there, it is Old Boys Day today here for Warwick Old Boys. There's a huge crowd, and Warwick come out onto the field, led by their captain, Michael Bloomfield. And Gary, on their jerseys is the names of a number of players.
Yeah, look, three grand final team names are on there. So
and listen to that crowd, boys.
Yes. And they'll be auctioned off. Those jerseys will be auctioned off at a later date, and or tonight actually. And I'd like to have one of those jerseys. They look sensational up close.
Well, as I said, all the moons align here tonight. Warwick will be primed for this game. The winner will go into the Matson Rasmussen final next week. So finals have come early for this 100th season of Toowoomba Rugby League. Terry Cook.
Yes, Obi, and we've got both sides on the field. We've got Valleys running to the can shop corner end, we will say, and Valleys are running there, and Warwick are running to the scoreboard end. So obviously Warwick must have won the toss, they, as Nutsy would say. They like to run downhill in the second half here at Father Ranger Oval.
Run to the Bay 13, the can bar end. Bay 13.
That's it. And Valleys will be kicking off. So seconds away here from the Toowoomba Sports Club match of the day here at Father Ranger Oval, where we have a top of the table clash for a Matson Rasmussen Trophy berth next week, with Dwayne Duncan will get us underway.
Yeah, just waiting, and away we go, Cookie.
And it's a high kickoff, and it goes down to the 22, and it's taken by Mitch Watson over there on the left wing. And he's quickly wrapped up by Budden around the head. So Bradfield takes the first hit up. A settler for him with Benny Sullivan. Goes into dummy half. Passes it on to Vivega. That's a good power run from the big front rower, and he gets it to his 40-metre line. So good start for Warwick. Sullivan on to Bromwell. Bromwell, a workhorse, gets it to the halfway midfield. Sullivan will kick early, and that's what he does, and he kicks down to Zach Miles, I think it is. Dylan Chown, sorry. Picks it up on his own goal line and gets it back 15 out from his try line.
Yeah, good start there by the Cowboys, but Valleys are bringing it back with, big tackling there, Cookie.
Cody Byrne takes Silito. Drew Jackson juggles the ball first. There's a swarm of Warwick defence there, and they finally wrap him up. And they've only got it to the 30-metre line in this first. There goes the first penalty. Get up, get out of there. We want a fast game, Baldo says.
Yeah, one of Martin Baldo's favourite, well, not his favourite, but one of his pet hates, and he does keep the game flowing with that. But here's the restart, and it'll all after 1 minute here. Toowoomba Sports Club match of the day.
So Dwayne Duncan will tap it on his own 40-metre line. They go to the right. No, he doesn't. He just dummies to his right and comes back this way. And Matty Marshall wrestles him to the ground with the help of Cody Byrne. They go to the right through Moore. Moore, who started the game off the bench, gets it just into Warwick's territory. They go to the right. Bowring passes it on to Benny Cook. Turns Buchanan back in, but great defence, led by Sullivan, wraps him up. They go to the right. Budden comes back in on an unders against the grain, and he's finally wrapped up. I'll tell you, Warwick's defence's speed line is fantastic.
It certainly is, Cookie. Gary Lawrence.
Yeah, look, they're going well here. They've come 40 yards up there and looking great here.
Back to you, Cookie.
So Benny Cook on the last, stabs one into the corner, and it'll taken by Harry Sullivan, and he takes it dead in goal. So Valleys will get a restart. Good start by both sides in these opening couple of minutes.
Yeah, but I think advantage Valleys because Warwick did the double dip there when they got the penalty, and that was just a bit better polished set of 6 there by the Roosters. Gary Lawrence?
Yeah, look, they are looking sharp, but both sides are looking sharp here at the present time. It's softening up.
So Mick Bloomfield, that's a booming dropout and goes 50 on the fly. Benny Cook takes it, gets it to Drew Jackson. Oh, heavy contact there, led by Bromell. Pounds him to the ground in a good tackle. Bowering in dummy half, passes it around to the right to McGrady. Corey McGrady gets it on the button, just a short ball, and he gets a quick play, and Bowering ducks down that short side. And he has Callum Hart. Callum Hart's bulldog to the ground by Bloomfield. And the referee says go back. Got to play it on the mark. So they do. Bowering passes it to McGrady. There's plenty of runners. Goes on to Benny Cook. Spots a hole. And that was too easy. Opened up like the Sydney Harbour Heads. And they get the first Toowoomba Sports Club try to Ben Cook, and Valleys lead 4-0 after 3 minutes.
Yeah, good stuff. Let's have a look at it on the Power TV. Hutchison Builders replay. You can see, look at Corey McGrady. He had runners going everywhere, and Benny Cook, there was just one out of the line, wasn't there, Cookie? And then Benny Cook took advantage of that, and he'll score about 15 minutes to left of the upright, Gary Lawrence.
Yeah, look, it was great play there. They went from right to left, and they saw the opportunities. They had a shooter. Warwick had a shooter coming out of the line, which left a hole. They went through, and then they got him behind, and they found it very hard to defend that. But Valleys are looking very sharp here, and you've got to start sharp here at Father Ranger Oval on a Saturday night.
Well, it's only their third set of 6, so it's a bit hard to say that they are sharp, but well, they were for those third set, and they scored on the second or third tackle of their third set, didn't they, Gary?
Yeah, they have, and like Warwick have completed their first one set. They're kicked, and then Valleys have completed 3 sets. They've had a penalty, a kick, and they've got a try in their third set. So
only 4 minutes gone, and it's 4-0 to the visitors here. Big crowd here from the Cowboys, Cookie.
Yeah, I think it was just the kick from Benny Cook in the set before really laid that platform for the try for himself. Pinpoint, Harry Sullivan had to go back in goal. He didn't have any choice but to go dead in goal, go out in goal, and hence the restart. And they worked their way, worked to a set play, and the set play worked perfectly where it just opened up. As you say, the shooter went out, and Benny Cook just strolled through a big hole and got the Toowoomba Sports Club try.
And you've got to be patient, haven't you? You've got to be patient with the ball.
Pittsworth Goodyear Gold attempt by Dwayne Duncan, puts it over the middle to convert the Toowoomba Sports Club try. It's 6-0 Valleys over Warwick. Gary, you were saying?
Yeah, look, it's great to see the good sides be patient with the ball. Sometimes good sides can rush it, and they want to score off every play. But here, goal line dropout, they were patient with the plays. They were confident with what they had in front of them and played what was in front.
So Cody Tandy gets us underway, and it goes down to Silly Toe, gets it to Moore. Moore bounces out of 1, bounces out of 2, still going, gets it back into Silly Toe, and Silly Toe's down this left-hand wing, slips over in the tackle, and will play it just short of the halfway on this clubhouse side. They go to the right through Sharp, Nathan Sharp, and he's belted into the ground by 3 Cowboys. Play it on the halfway. Bowering passes it on. Out to Ben Cook. Ben Cook, a long ball to McGrady. McGrady out there on the right side to Callum Hart. He's still going. Gets it to Zach Miles. He comes back infield. So they've made plenty of territory. He's crabbing across field, looking for a hole, but it doesn't open up, and they close him down. 35 out from the try line. Buchanan, I think it is, or Drew Jackson, I'm not sure which one, but they take it forward and they'll play it 15 from the try line. Bowering comes to the left through McGrady. McGrady out the back to Benny Cook. Turns Sharp back in field. Will he crash over? Jeez, he's close. Last tackle. Millimetres in it. Bowring. Flat ball to Drew Jackson. Does he get there? Held up. Great Warwick defence. Much needed defence too. They trail 6-0 after 7 minutes. Good stuff by the Cowboys.
Yeah, but razzle dazzle stuff. Started with the restart from Joey Moore, and he just bounced them off, and they made a big advantage over the line. Here's Warwick bringing it out, Cookie.
With it there, we're going to have to watch Matt Marshall. He came to the sideline just there before, and he had a hamstring strapped up.
Oh,
and
no.
a lot of tape on that right hamstring.
It's all Valleys at the moment, Cookie.
Yeah, Brad Phil plays it on his own 22. Benny Sullivan gets out of there, passes it on.
Toowoomba.
Mono over there on the left centre, up against Callum Hart. It'll be an absolute beauty. Benny Sullivan gets a penalty against him. He tried to milk that, and the referee said that's a purpose milk penalty, and it's gone against them. And the Cowboys will not be happy with that, with Valleys getting a penalty 30 metres out the try line. Corey McGrady kicks to that far touchline, and they'll tap it about 15 metres out from the try line.
Plenty of pressure at the moment.
Hart taps it. Throws it out to McGrady. McGrady gets it on to Buchanan. Buchanan just takes a settler. Bowring will go in at dummy half. They come to the left through Drew Jackson. Straightens up. Tries to hit and spin his way over the line. Still going, the big unit. And he's pulled down right in front of the post. Bowring turns Buchanan back in on an unders. He tries to crash his way over, but the Cowboys' defence holds strong. Bowring goes right, out to McGrady. McGrady gets Callum Hart coming back in, the big fella. Still going, throws it to Drew Jackson. Great goal line defence. They scramble well, the Cowboys, and they hold them out. Couple of tackles, Bowring kicks, and that's an A-grade catch by Marshall.
I think it was Marshall. And
Yeah.
It was a wonderful catch, Gary Lawrence.
It was indeed a great catch by Matty Marshall. They're under pressure here now. The Warwick Cowboys, they're under a lot of pressure. Valley's line speed is massive.
And they've come up with a mistake.
The Warwick Cowboys
Saying a
knock on
knock
there. Yeah, because it's game on. Bar, look, it's just it just seems just that little bit more energy from the Valleys Roosters at the moment. It's still only 6-0 after 9 minutes here at Father Ranger Oval around the grounds. Net Cherry Pest Control. 6-0 Pittsworth over South. Over Gundawindi, I apologise, Cookie.
It's been a cracking pace.
It sure has, Cookie. It's gone from end to end, but we seem to be more down Warwick's goal line than we are at the moment. Here's the feed, Cookie.
Couple of mistakes. Yes, Bowring takes it out from the lock position, gets it to McGrady. McGrady creeps across field, picks up Callum Hart, back on the grain, and he nearly gets there, does he?
No. Sure.
No. Millimetres in it. Can Warwick hold out? They come to the right through McGrady, through McGrady. McGrady gets it onto Sharp and a forward pass. So that's a let-off for the Cowboys, a much-needed let-off. So they'll get an S&K drilling scrum, 10 from their try line, and they'll need some much-needed possession, Gary.
Yeah, look, Warwick haven't completed their last 2 sets. They've only completed 1 out of 3, where that was the first incomplete set from the Valleys Roosters. They've completed 5 from 6, Cookie, and they're still inside the 30-metre mark of Warwick Cowboys. So Warwick have got to get out here and start getting some quick yards, and they need to get some quick plays going. We've got McGrady looking to organise everything, and I think if they go to the right-hand side of Warwick and come back to their left-hand side, they will go over eventually if they keep coming back to this side here with indecisions between Cody Burns and Matty Marshall. I think that's where they're going to have to come back to.
Well, they pressure them just by getting the numbers in to stop them. So eventually you got to be thin on the edges then, don't you? So,
they do, yeah.
And as you say, they're shifting it from right to left very, very comfortably, the Valleys Roosters. But Callum Hart's gone down by the looks of that.
He has,
after he's nearly gone over. I tell you, it took about 4 of them to pull him up.
Well, no wonder he had a absolute tribe of them going on them. 6-all at Pittsworth, between Pittsworth and Gundawindi. A Carl Clement try for Gundy. And, we've got a stop and play here. It's gone on for a couple of minutes now, Gary Lawrence.
Yeah, they're saying he's okay. He'll go back in. But I know they're looking to take him from the field. He's holding his eye, is he?
Yeah, eye or nose or...
Yeah, he's rubbing something there.
But
so,
McGrady does that crisscross very, very well with Hart. What's that move called, Cookie?
And unders.
Unders.
Yeah, unders. Yeah. A lot of players go across and virtually run back into the fence, but Callum Hart, he virtually holds his line, and he's very good at it. That's why he's such a class centre, and Richard Murray goes in to replace him. Looks as though he's got a poke in the eye by the looks of that.
Yeah.
But he's big and he's fast and he's a lot of danger out there, and he's marking up against Joey Punamana, so I'm really looking forward to this when he returns.
So the Warwick Cowboys get the S&K drilling scrum. And it goes on to Cody Byrne, who just takes a settler. Sullivan in at dummy half. Gets it onto Vavega. That's a good power run from the big fella. Gains 15 metres. Sullivan out of dummy half again onto Bromhill. And they've worked it back to their 40 quite comfortable.
Yeah, they have.
And get the penalty too.
Yeah, sure does. Bromhill, it's about he's been out for about 3 weeks with concussion, hasn't he, Gary?
He has, but, and they have missed him. He's a class player. And when you have him and Mick Bloomfield and those sort of guys in the back row, and Josh Cruz is probably an underestimated player, but they play above their weight, those three guys.
And he taps it to Josh Cruz quickly, and he gets it to the 22. Sullivan passes it to Marshall. Marshall onto the fullback and Craig Don backs himself into the defence, and he'll play it on the 25. They come to the left again. Goes to Mickey Bloomfield and off a Tandy pass, and he's wrapped up over there. Slow play the ball. They come back to the right. Through Tandy onto Marshall. Marshall throws a long one out to Don. Don straightens the play up. But good defence by Valleys, led by Moore. Puts him to the ground. Benny Sullivan onto Bradfield, I think it is, on a flat ball. Tried to pierce the defensive line. On the last, Sullivan gets it in goal, and it's taken out by Duncan. Duncan, do they get him in there? No, he gets out of the field of play.
Yeah.
Great work by Dwayne Duncan.
It certainly was, and he's been in the form of his life. He's been playing very, very well the last month and kicking goals to boot. It's 6-0 after 14 minutes. Valleys over Warwick, Gary Lawrence.
Yeah, look, he's a great young player, and he's got speed to burn too. He can kick a goal.
So Bowring gets it onto Nalone Budden, the captain, but he's met a swarm of Warwick defensive, and he's dropped it too. So another mistake by Valley. So the pendulum's starting to swing a little bit.
I think it's probably their first mistake, apart from double dipping on that penalty back down the field here, and Warwick getting their chance. It's taken them a while. They really had a really good set of six there, but Dwayne Duncan spoilt the day by bringing it out. So this is their chance, Gary.
Yeah, great opportunity, but it'll be interesting to see how they defend here, the Valleys. They've changed a couple of people around now with Callum Hart off that side there. Whether Warwick will come, they've got Joe standing over on the opposite side. They're loading one side now. So whether they're going to have a big crack.
So Sullivan takes it out of the S&K drilling scrum, and Tandy cleaned up over there. Good tackle, ball and all. So Watson brings it in off his wing from dummy half. Runs into Drew Jackson and stops him in his tracks.
I recommend
plays
doing
it
that.
5 metres. Sullivan goes back to the left. It's a terrible pass. Bromhill has to go back and get it, and he dives on it. So sloppy play by the Cowboys, and they've lost ground on the play. So Joey Firmono, he decides to take it forward, the big strapping centre, and he gets it within about a metre of the try line, right in front of the scoreboard. Quick play the ball. Sullivan out to Bromhill. Bromhill onto Tandy. Tandy onto Marshall. Marshall flat ball to Cruz, and he's tipped up in the ground, onto the ground. Last tackle. Sullivan throws a long ball, but it's been knocked on by Bromhill, and they turn defence into attack, the Valleys Roosters, and they'll play it over there in front of the scoreboard.
Yeah, very intense at the present time. Calling here for a bit of a high tackle there from Looks like it's Brommel, is it, or Cruz?
Ben Sullivan there.
Ben Sullivan there, and Valley's hands went in the air calling for it, and they got it, but referee Martin Baldo was on it. Here's a kick out to touch. It's 6-0 after 16 minutes. Valley's over Warwick, and it's still 6-all up at the Pittsworth, between Pittsworth and Gundawindi Cookie.
Yes. So, Duncan taps it, gets it onto Mua. Mua being strong up front. Plays it just short of the halfway. They go to the right. Oh,
big hit by the Vague and Brommel.
Is that Nathan Short or Jock Waters? Nathan Short, I think it is.
Yeah, I think it is Nathan Short. Or is it, come off the
15.
bench, And they didn't miss him, but they had a double dip, which, a bit of 50-50 here. And it's 2 penalties on the run, Gary.
Yeah, look, they've got to be careful, Warwick. They can't piggyback a side like this up the field. They'll go to the right, they'll come back to the centre, and then they'll go to the left and score.
Mua changing with Buchanan. Buchanan just pumps the legs and takes it forward. Gets it within 25 metres of the try line. Bowring goes to the right again, onto Short. Short onto Sharp, and Sharp just straightens the play up, and he'll play it just 10 metres to the right of the upright. They come back they keep going to the right. Flat ball onto Bunn, running at pace.
Holy moly.
Absolute great tackle. I'm not sure who it was.
Joey
So
Ford.
McGrady onto Ben Cook, flat ball onto Mua, but he's dropped the chocolates. So great stuff by the Warwick Cowboys. They hold their defensive nerve, and they come up with another mistake, the Valley's Roosters. So Warwick will get an S&K drilling scrum. 18 minutes gone, they trail 6-0 here at Father Range Oval.
And I tell you what, fellas, Alona Budden was absolutely flying on that other side. I thought it was Fui, but no, it was Sammy Brommel. He absolutely catapulted Alona Budden, and he was on the fly. So this game is really settling down at the moment after 18 minutes. The Valleys are in front 6-0. Gary Lawrence?
Yeah, look, it is settling down to a great game, but it's a good arm wrestle.
They come to the right through Don. Manhandled by Benny Cook, hangs on to his jersey, and then the rest of the Valley's troops come in, led by Buchanan. So they go to the left. I'm not sure who the Warwick Cowboy is, but the Valley's Roosters, Vavega it was, were up in his face. They keep it going through Tandy. Tandy does an unders with Bradfield. Bradfield heads back out to that left-hand edge. Will play it. Sullivan quickly out of dummy half, turns for Joey Firmono back in up the ruck, but he's quickly claimed by the Valley's defence. They come to the right through Tandy. Tandy puts up a midfield bomb. Harry Sullivan puts pressure on Silly Toe. Him and Burns quickly claim him and wrap him up on the Valley side of halfway. Chown been quiet in these opening exchanges. Quickly claimed by the defence, gets a quick play the ball. Bowring comes back to the left through Buchanan. Buchanan only knows one way, but good defence by the Cowboys, led by Josh Cruz. Force him back with Brommel. They go to the right. Nathan Short only knows one way, straight and hard, and gets it to the halfway. They go to the right again. I think it's Corey McGrady. Dummies to his right, and he'll play it on the last. So they'll come back to Benny Cook. Benny Cook stabs one down, but Donny's good. He's in great position and takes it 10 out from his try line, heads upfield and across field, and quickly met by the Valley's defence, and he'll play it on his own 22.
Yeah, certainly. There's some really brutal defence on both sides at the moment as Mitchie Watson brings it out. And I will say to the relief of his forwards, Gary Lawrence.
Yeah, look, it's great to see someone that big can run it up like that. You know, if you're a forward, you'll be looking for those big men to do that. We've just had a penalty here against Valleys, who are over-enthusiastic.
Yeah, and we're arguing there, Nathan Short, but he said, nope, you can't do that, son. And, he wasn't standing straight, or he wasn't, the marker wasn't straight. Is that right, Cookie?
I think it was just second crack. Kieran Fender went to get up, and he grabbed his leg a little bit and just sort of, he forced him back down. So I just think it was that second chop. So Mickey Boomfield will kick to this grandstand side, and they'll tap it about 35 metres out. Byrne taps it, goes left to Marshall. Marshall on to Fender. Fender just knows one way. He's a big man, I'll tell you, a young, big, strapping lad. Plays at midfield. They keep it going to the same way through Bradfield. Bradfield jolted in the Valley's defence. They come back to the right through Sullivan. Sullivan turns Matty Marshall back in towards the ruck, and he's worked his way 10 metres out from the try line. They come right. A dummy play onto Josh Cruz, and another penalty. What's that for?
Well,
I'm not
we don't
sure.
know. What's
I think he was inside.
Yeah, marker's not
Squaring
straight.
up.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
squaring up. That's exactly it, Gary.
Yeah, but he played the ball so quick. Yeah. Anyway, it's
They're
game
gonna-
on, Cookie.
Anyway, Fender takes it straight off the tap. They're going to keep going with the attack. The Warwick Cowboys pressuring the Valley's Roosters lines. A long ball from Sullivan. Dropped by Joey Famono, and the referee says knock on. So that's not a great set of 6 for the Cowboys. An opportunity goes begging there. 21 minutes gone. They trail 6-0. And the Valley's Roosters defence frustrates Warwick again.
It certainly did. The pass from Cody Tandy, I just couldn't see it, but Zach Miles was in the face of Joey Fuimano, and I think he just must have got in the way a little bit, and Fui could not secure the ball. Here's the S&K drilling scrum, Cookie.
Yep, and it comes out to Aaron Sillytoe, and does a bit of footwork before the line, but he's forced back by Byrne and Josh Cruz. So Bowring, markers down out of dummy half. That's good yards. Great steal by him. And he's gained about 20 metres. So Dylan Chan will do the same. He slips over in the dewy conditions. And he'll play at midfield. Bowring goes right to McGrady. Turns. Ooh.
Gee, both sides are wanting to pass it back inside and work it up the middle, Cookie, aren't they?
And they get the penalty too. And Jason Sharp it was. Great work by him. Fought his way to get that penalty. McGrady, just short of the halfway, will kick to that far touchline. So Warwick will tap it about 15 metres into Warwick's territory. So, comes over through Richard Murray. Ooh. Onto Jock Waters, who's tipped into the ground. He'll play it. Bowring. Passes it on to Sharp. Sharp just takes the yards. Plenty of Warwick defence led by Josh Cruz, who wrestles him to the ground. They go back to the right. Bowring looking for runners. Gets it on to McGrady. McGrady out the back. But a great read by Joey Famono. Wraps him up with the help of Cody Tandy. And they've lost ground. They keep it going down that right side. I think Richard Murray ends up with it. They come back to the left through McGrady. McGrady throws a long ball out to Jock Waters. Jock Waters just takes the Nathan Short. It is, sorry. Will play at midfield on the last tackle. 15 out from the try line. They come to the left through Benny Cook. Stabs one over. Oh, great work! Dwayne Duncan. He's a magician. The juggler, we'll call him, gets it on to Aaron Sillytail, and they've gone in for the Toowoomba Sports Club tie. He's absolutely jagged that out of Harry Sullivan's hand, and they stretch that lead to 10-0.
Well, let's have a look at on the instant replay for Power TV Australia. Here, look at this. We'll call in the juggler. Great kick by Cook again. And look, it's just touched by the Warwick player. Dwayne Duncan, the juggler, he gives it off to his wing three-quarter and Zach Miles. Is that right, Cookie?
No, Aaron Sillytail.
Aaron Sillytail, that's right. And it's a 4-pointer. And I tell you what, a try like that, Gary Lawrence, they really earned, you know, like it had to take something like that to break the settling down period.
Yeah, look, it was a great option there. But how good was the kick, you know? Like, it was a great kick, well positioned.
Yeah.
The kid's got speed in Dwayne Duncan. He then gets it, doesn't try to score himself, sees it as an opportunity for his outside winger, gives it to him, and takes a man. And, Warwick are behind the goalpost now looking at what they could have done or should have done earlier in the game. And, like that, Valleys have completed 9 from 12 now, so they're turning the screws up a bit on the Warwick Cowboys.
They've really targeted Harry Sullivan's wing too, because he's not a big man, is he? He's only a small man, and Dwayne Duncan just too tall and great hands, great soft hands. Juggled it, regathered it, and passed it on to Aaron Sillytail, and he'll come in for the Pittsworth Tyre Mechanical Goodyear goal. He's about, 5 metres to the left of the upright.
And the juggler gets it over, Cookie.
Yes.
Gee, we love nicknames, don't we, mate? And we certainly do. So that makes the score 12-0.
We
Just
do.
can't get that scoreboard. Is that after 36 minutes or?
Is it? I think
Just can't say
13 minutes.
13 minutes
13
to go
minutes,
until
yeah,
half time.
to
So
go.
27 minutes and it's 12-0. The Premiers in front over Warwick. And here we got the restart here, Cookie.
Katie Tandy gets us underway. Kicks it deep down to Benny Cook. He gets it onto Short. Short comes. No, Jock Waters it is. Jock Waters all strapped up. Plenty on him. Gets it back to about 10 out from his try line. Sharp just takes a settler. The workhorse. He will go all day for 80 minutes. Bowring comes back to this left. Gets it onto Moore. But it's a forward pass off the ruck. So, no, it's not. It's Reggie Munn's come into the game. So, the big Reggie Munn just overrunning that pass. So, an opportunity. Can they convert it into points, the Warwick Cowboys? Because they'll get an S&K drilling scrum right in front of the post, about 15 metres out from Valley's try line.
Yeah, wonderful things. The attacking halves from Valleys, but it's their defence that kept them in the game at the moment, Cookie.
They go to the left. Sullivan takes it out, gets it onto Byrne. Byrne just eats up the yards and he runs into Budden with the help of Dylan Chown. They work a flat move up the middle, up through the ruck. Bradfield gets second phase play back to Sullivan. Sullivan threatens. Great tackle. Pulled down and they'll get a penalty out of that.
Yeah, Dylan Chown knew it too, but he had to make the tackle or else he was in. Here's the quick restart, Cookie.
Yep. Sullivan takes it. Bradfield just works it. Takes a settler. Gets it within about a metre of the try line. Sullivan in a dummy half. Ben that is. Gets it to Tandy. Tandy, a set move off Bloomfield with Joey Firmino. Tries to crash his way over, but he's pulled up short. The Valley's defence tightens. And now another knock on. Joey Firmino in the ruck over in that scoreboard corner. So another opportunity. That's been the tail in this first half for Warwick. They haven't really pressured the line for any
And look, I tell you
length
what,
of time.
Firmino was absolutely flying, and who was there was Corey McGrady, you know, and it was wonderful stuff. And Corey's a lot smaller lad than Joey. He must have been only metres out from scoring. Here's the S&K drilling scrum, Cookie.
Yep, taken out by Bowring. Gets it onto Reggie Munn, standing in at 5'8". Plays the ball. They come to the left. Through Benny Cook. Benny Cook out to Dwayne Duncan. Gets it onto Silly Toe. Silly Toe heads back infield, but he's quickly claimed by his opposite number in Harry Sullivan. Makes a double, Harry Sullivan. Good work on Dwayne Duncan. Great stuff by the young fella. They go to the right. Jock Waters stands in the tackle. There's plenty of defence. Now they put him down. Benny Sullivan round his legs. Bowring. They go to the right through McGrady. McGrady stabs one over. Goes from Richard Murray. Overruns it. And Joey Firmino dives on it on his own 40-metre line on that far touch line.
I tell you what, Joey Firmino's had plenty of work to do in this game, Gary Lawrence.
He has attack and defence, so Warwick have got to get a quick play of the ball. Valleys are getting a quick play of the ball. They end up on their A-frames all the time for a quick play of the ball. Warwick have got to do the same thing here.
12-0, Valley's over Warwick, 10 minutes until half-time, Cookie.
Yeah, Tandy turns Fender back in, but that's great defence. And another knock on. I didn't see that.
Oh, yeah.
He's tried unloading it, whether hands are involved or not, but it's travelled forward, so it's a knock on. And
Young Benny Sullivan,
Yeah.
I think it was, and round the grounds, Netcherry Pest Control, still 6-all, Pittsworth and Gundawindi out there at Club Pittsworth. But yeah, look, a coach killer, CNR concreting coach killer there for the Warwicks. It's just not going their way at the moment. They will not want Valleys to get away on them, Cookie.
So they bring it out. Ends up with Dylan Chown, and he puts the afterburners on, and Cody Byrne ends up wrapping him up. The referee says play on, so he gets up and there's another chop, and he's worked it. Sullivan comes in to finish him off, and they'll play it 25 out from the try line. They go the right through Dwayne Duncan onto Reggie Munn, just takes a settler into the midfield. wrapped up by Brommel. They go to the right again. Short, passes it on to McGrady, turns Button back up the middle, but great defence by the Cowboys, led by Benny Sullivan. They come to the left. Ben Cook gets it on to Reggie Munn, hits and spin, gets it out the back to Bowring. Bowring gets it on to Dwayne Duncan. He steps out of the tackle there, still going, and they've worked it within 10 metres of the try line, right in front of the post. They come to the left through Benny Cook. Great defence, led by Josh Cruz. Great bell ringer there. McGrady stabs one in behind the ruck. Great work by Craig Don. Absolute great fullback stuff there.
Inspirational stuff by the Cowboys. Firstly, Josh Cruz, what a wonderful tackle. And then you've got to take credit for Corey McGrady. There was a huge tackle there. Usually that stops play, but he played on there, Cookie. And then it was Craig Don who cleaned up the crumbs, but here's a relieving penalty for the Warwick Cowboys, Cookie.
Yeah, Benny Sullivan caught him napping out of dummy half and caught him offside. And Mickey Boomfield says, come on, follow me, and goes for a quick tap. It ends up with that man, and he just takes it forward, and he's lifted up in the tackle, and back slam. Sullivan passes it on to Tandy. Tandy shows and goes, gives it to Marshall. Marshall gives it to Byrne, and Byrne. Great defence by Dwayne Duncan. They go back to the left through Josh Cruz, who at the other end come up with an absolute bell ringer. Great defence. Held out the Valley's Roosters on the march. Bradfield, he takes a settler, gets it within 10 metres of the try line, and they're spread either side. So they've got great V shape at the moment, the Cowboys. Can they sustain this? Tandy tries to go up and score himself up the middle, and he'll play it on the last tackle. What will they do here? Sullivan stabs one in, and it's been knocked on. I'd say it's been played at by the Valley's Roosters. So there'll be an S&K drilling scrum to the Cowboys, I'd say, and they'll get another shot, a set of 6 on the last.
And they really need this for 7 minutes to go.
No, it hasn't gone. It's gone against the Cowboys.
Yeah, well, nothing going right at the moment. They've really got a lot of effort at the moment, but they're just not getting any luck, Gary Lawrence.
Yeah, but you make your own luck, and that wasn't the play to happen when you step out of dummy half, 2 metres out, and trying to put a stab kick.
Too much traffic.
Yeah, too much traffic there.
Still 12-0 with 6 minutes to go until half-time. Valley's over Warwick, and the winner goes straight through to the Matson Rasmussen final, Cookie.
Yeah, Bowring throws a long ball to McGrady out in the middle, gets Jock Waters on the fly, and he's tackled just short of the halfway. Bowring keeps it going the same way. Sharp. That's a good run by him. Geez, he's a good worker.
He is.
And that's a great run. He's made 20 metres. There's not much of him. Bloomfield and him having a good tussle over there on the right-hand edge. McGrady decides to put up a midfield bomb. Craig Don in great position, takes it just in front of his goal line and brings it back with some interest. That's a good run by him, but he runs into a Drew Jackson special, and I'd say he's winded him there. Got a good shoulder.
Well,
There's
he
a
has.
couple there, actually.
Well, Josh Cruz, he really got hit hard by Jason Sharp over there, and he's in a bit of la-la land at the moment, and
Craig Don is too.
Yeah, so we've got Cowboys down everywhere at the present time, but still 12-0. Valley's over Warwick with 5 minutes left until half-time. It's still 6-all around the grounds with Neptune Pest Control, Pittsworth and Gundawindi at Club Pittsworth. Out there we'll go across
Bloomfield it was.
Over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's probably a good break to have, right? So actually no, it's Cruz there and Bloomfield over here. So we'll see how we go from there. But a bit of a break. Oh, I need a bit of a breather because it's been going at a fanatic pace, hasn't it, Gary?
It has been, and Callum Hart's not looking too good on the sideline here. They've been looking at his eye. They've had the drops in. They've had the medicos look at his eye. They've had torches in there, and he's not looking good.
Nothing worse.
Yeah.
Talking about a patch at the present time on his eye, but
don't expect him back, I would suggest, Gary.
Well, you wouldn't want to risk him. It's too early in the season to have someone like his calibre injured and out for a long term with an eye injury.
So Craig Don, after a bit of a stop in play, plays it on his own 22. Fender hits and spins, but there's plenty of traffic in the middle, led by Drew Jackson, finally pulling him to ground. Sullivan goes left through Bradfield, the workhorse. He gets it just short of the 40-metre line. So they come back to the middle. A pass ends up with Matty Marshall. Gets it onto Burns, picks it up flat-footed, and he's forced back in the defence by Benny Cook. So that Fender takes another run in this set of 6. He gets it, plays it on the last, just inside his own territory. So they go to the left through Sullivan. Sullivan goes to Cody Byrne, puts a kick in, and it bounces down there for Zach Miles. Oh, there was plenty of Warwick defence. He comes across field, and they finally round him up. Led by Joey Firmino, I think it is, and Benny Sullivan, and they pull him down. No, McMahon's out there in the 14 jersey. So, Buchanan, I think it is.
Yeah, it was a pretty good kick from Cowboys. You know, they tried something different, and it nearly pulled off. And Zach Miles, he's very elusive for a young fella, Cookie.
So, an exchange passing from Reggie Munn onto Drew Jackson in the middle of the field. Gets it just short of the halfway. Dylan Chan out of dummy half.
Oh, great
run and a great tackle. I'm not sure who it was. Gets him. He'll play it on the last. McGrady does a banana kick for Zach Miles. Takes it on the full. He comes back in. He double kick. And it's been knocked on, boy.
Sullivan.
So, the luck going Valley's way in this first half. There's 3 minutes left. Can the Cowboys hang on? They trail 12-0.
Yeah, they're still in the contest, and I tell you what, they wouldn't not want the Valleys to score before half-time. It's still 12-0 with 3 minutes left until half-time. Still 6-all over at Club Pittsworth, between Pittsworth and Gundawindi around the grounds with Neb Cherry Pest Control. Here's the S&K drilling scrum, Cookie.
So Valleys on the march, and it's taken out. A long ball to Ben Cook, who gets it on to Dwayne Duncan. Dwayne Duncan, I thought he threw that, but he hung onto it. Chown gets it on to Drew Jackson. He tries to crash his way on. Throws the ball. Hail Mary out the back. It's picked up by Sharp, who heads across field. Still going. And great Warwick defence through Tandy. Knock him down with the help of Sullivan. They come back to the middle through Reggie Munn. Reggie Munn gets it back to Bowring. Bowring comes back to the middle, and he's finally collared by Tandy. Out of dummy half. The referee says Warwick inside the 10. So, can they hang on? There's 2 minutes to go till half time, till we go to the sheds.
And the Roosters know how important this is. They score before half-time. It's going to be a big effort for Warwick to come back.
They're going to take the John Darien Hotel penalty goal.
Yeah, and you don't blame them either, especially with the pizzas that they have out at John Darien Hotel. And it is just probably pretty smart thinking there with 14 to make it 14-0. Dwayne Duncan has been kicking well this season, Gary Lawrence.
He has been kicking well, and look, they're doing everything right, but there's a few injured players out here. Reggie Munns is limping around, whether he's got a bad back or something at the present time. But
because it has been a brutal game, Gary.
Very brutal, but they're a big side, this Valley side. I didn't realise how big they were, you know, whether it be Jackson and those sort of guys and Munns and that. They're big men, and the Warwick Cowboys, they're a smaller pack, but I see Broomhall's come off, and he's limping a little bit, and Cruz has come off now, and Jamie Abbas has gone on, so they're starting to put the replacements on.
So Dwayne Duncan, he's probably about 10 metres to the right of the goal post. Comes in for the John Darien Hotel penalty goal, which will shoot them out to a 14-0 with 16 seconds left to the half-time siren. And I think Warwick would look. He comes in and he converts the John Darien Hotel penalty goal. So they lead 14-0 going to the half-time sheds, the Valley Roosters against the Warwick Cowboys. And I think Warwick would like to go to the sheds and restock, because they have been They just haven't sustained any pressure, have they, Gary, in that first half?
No, they haven't, Cookie, and they've completed 9 of 17 sets, and Valley's 14 from 18. So the completion rates are telling the tale. Very similar time in possession. The same types.
Yep.
But Matty Marshall's limping. He hasn't been involved. He's been standing on the wing a lot of the times. He needs to get more involved. Whether that hamstring's playing up, their forwards have been working very hard here. But the back three are going to have to get more involved and take a load off these forwards.
Yeah, and Warwick just seem to be rushing it, don't they? Out of dummy half.
They are. They're not patient.
No.
And like where you watch Valleys come out. They come out. They find their A-frame, quick play the ball, and it's bang. And Warwick aren't staying on the tackle. They're letting them get up for a quick play the ball so they can advance 30 yards in 3 plays, where Valleys are just controlling the rucks a little bit better at this point in time.
Exactly right.
Okay, well, it's half time here, and this brutal clash between Warwick and Valleys, where we see the Premiers in front by 12 points to 0. We'll take a break. You're live on Power FM. This is the Obie and Cookie Call.
Hutchies lives here. We're locals, just like you. To us, construction is really about people, not just bricks and concrete. It's people who bring our structures to life and build communities. We stick by the people who make communities. From Toowoomba Rugby League to RACQ Life Flight Rescue Service, Milne Bay Military Challenge, and the Toowoomba Tennis International, Hutchies is proud to back the people who support the region.
The 2018 TRL Premiers, Valleys Rugby League Football Club, has a proud history that's 100 years old this year. Today they boast a modern clubhouse and facilities at Middle Ridge. Their function rooms are ideal for corporate functions, celebrations or parties. To book your next function, simply call them on 0429 596 353. That's 0429 596 353. If you've lost your income or had a change of earning capacity through no fault of your own and are struggling with debt that you can no longer handle, you probably feel a bit like this ant. If the struggle is getting you down and you feel overwhelmed, there is an answer. Central Liaison has helped thousands of people break free of the debt struggle by handling their debt for them. Freeze all interest, stop the harassing calls from the bank and start enjoying life again. Call them today on 0409 344 070 for a confidential, obligation-free chat about how Central Liaison can help you take your life back. The number again, 0409 344 070. Call them now.
Crazy Kevin on the radio.
Jamming as much variety into your day as possible.
Power
powerfmradio.com.au.
Every week on Power TV Australia, the TRL Footy Show, proudly sponsored by Power FM and Hutchie's Builders. Join our team of experts Friday morning at 7 for an in-depth analysis, plus the latest news from all the clubs leading into the weekend's games and some fun along the way. The TRL Footy Show. Catch it online at powertvaustralia.com or take it with you anywhere by downloading the Power TV app. Power TV Australia, the home of the TRL Footy Show.
Was a very confident-looking body language as they walked out onto the field. So it seemed pretty short that half-time. What about you, Gary? Do you think it was
Look, I thought it was quite a short half-time, but
we keep ourselves amused at half-time, don't we?
We must do indeed. Look, Valleys have come out. Warwick traditionally don't come back onto the field until everyone else is back out there, even the referees. So they will make them wait for a little while. Traditionally they do that, but how good's this Valley side? And I was just saying to Cookie earlier, they're a big side too, and that's what's happening here with the Warwick side. They're a little bit lighter on, a little bit shorter in stature, but they're working very hard. But these big men are going to take some holding back in this last 15-20 minutes of this game.
I tell you what, Cookie, since that loss to Waddles, you can just see their steely determination in this Roosters side.
Yeah, they are the reigning premiers, and
it is the 100th year, isn't it?
That's exactly right. And they're one of the original clubs, the 1919 they started. So they've got a lot of history, and they know how to win premierships. I think they've won the most, haven't they? Or
yeah, 35. No, 35 they've done, and they come out now. The Cowboys. I tell you what, I just can't get over this crowd. Cookie,
it's massive.
This is the biggest crowd I've seen here for a couple of seasons apart from the Broncos game. You know, and it's given it a nudge as well, hasn't it?
Oh, look, I think if you looked at the numbers down the hockey field end of just down past Bay 13 here at Father Ranger Oval, it's a massive crowd there. The old boys are really enjoying it, and the ladies inside, they've got big numbers in there, and they're enjoying themselves as well. And if we can keep the ladies happy, we're going to keep everyone else happy.
Here's a restart, 14-0. The Premiers up over Warwick, Cookie.
Yes, so we're seconds away from the second half. Just waiting on a tee. Mickey Bloomfield throws it over to Tandy. Warwick really need just to settle down and get some constructive possession down Valley's end and just get some restarts. And we're underway, and it's a wonky old kick. It wobbles along the ground. It's been knocked on by Zach Miles. Difficult ball to take straight off the kickoff. It was a wonky old one from Tandy, but it's worked for him. So the Cowboys will get the first strike.
And just what the doctor ordered, Gary Lawrence.
Yeah, look, it is, and they've got to be very patient down here now. They've got to play with a full set of 6, get another set of 7 after this, and they'll be back into the game. They've got to be patient, and the 6, 7 and 9 have got to leave this side around more.
So the S&K drilling scrum ends up with Don in the 5-8 position, and he's wrapped up by Drew Jackson and Sharp, and he'll play it 10 out from the try line. Sullivan, no, Fender stopped and propped. I thought the game was stopped then. Looked like it, didn't it?
It did look that way.
He kept going and he'll play it. So it comes from Sullivan out to Tandy. Tandy gets it onto Bloomfield. Bloomfield threatens the line, but Budden and about 4 others come in to help him, and they force him back, and he's made play it standing. So Bradfield dummies, goes close. No, pull down short. Couple of tackles up their sleeve. Sullivan will go from dummy half. Does he get there? I think he does. Yes, he has. He scored the Toowoomba Sports Club try. Benny Sullivan out of dummy half. Gets him on the board. So after a minute in this second half, 14-4 with the kick to come.
Yeah, and I suggest on his own admission, Benny Sullivan didn't have the greatest first half. We'll see if we've got this replay. No, we're just after it there for the instant replay from Hutchie's Builders on Power TV Australia for that try. But it's exactly what the doctor ordered. It's an old cliche, but a good one. First minute in the second half, they're back in this game. It's 14 points to 4. Valleys over Warwick, Gary Lawrence.
Yeah, look, they've got to be patient here, and that's what we've said before. The 6, 7 and 9 have got to steer this side around. They're a young side as well, the Warwick Cowboys. They've got to stay in the game. They're not far from the points scoring here. And as we saw then, Benny Sullivan went over for a well-earned try, and Mick Bloomfield's lining it up now to kick. But if they can just play their sets out and then get resets, they'll be a lot better in this game.
Yeah, certainly will for this Pittsworth Goodyear Gold. He puts it over the middle there. It's an 8-point ball game, and how important was that John Darien Hotel goal just before half-time? We've got a 8-point ball game, 14 points to 6, 18 points to 6. Gundawindi over Pittsworth around the grounds. Now Cherry Pest Control Cookie.
Yes, so Benny Sullivan burrowing his way over out of dummy half, gets the Toowoomba Sports Club try, and as Obi said, 14-6. So we have ball game on, and the Cowboys running down into that Bay 13 can shop corner.
Yeah, they like to run that way in the second half, but, that all came about from Zach Miles making that mistake from the kickoff, put them under a lot of pressure, and hopefully Zach will have learnt from that, and we won't see that in the second half.
So Dwayne Duncan will get us underway. 3 minutes gone in this second half. Puts in one of those high kicks at Mitch Watson, takes it beautifully on his own 22, heads upfield, does a bit of footwork and beats a couple of them. That's a great run by the young winger, and he's flung to ground by Bowering. They keep it going the same way. Don, I think it is, comes in for attention from Dwayne Duncan. Bradfield shrugs out of one, gets second phase play back to Benny Sullivan. Dummies on the inside, and they've worked it back nearly to the halfway. Marshall in a dummy half, goes to Bradfield. Bradfield, dummies to his left. He's been good up front for him. Done a power of work, and he'll play it just in Valley's territory. Tandy stabs one down. Chown has to come across. It's in goal. Can they pin him in there? Great chase. And he just
look at almost the perfect set of six.
He concedes in the tackle, so they don't force him back. Richard Murray has only had a few touches. Takes it. A hit up for the Roosters.
It's game on so far.
Billy Toe nearly breaks through. He's still going. Or is it Zach Miles? Zach Miles it is. Great run by him. Drew Jackson. So they've worked it back. 35 out from their try line. Bowering comes to the right, goes to Sharp. Sharp juggled it. I don't think it was meant for him. And he'll play it just short of the halfway on the last. They come back to McGrady, puts up a midfield bomb. Don takes it on his own 22, heads upfield. He's got a wall in front of him, and he's forced back in the tackle of about Three Valleys Roosters, and he may play it on his own quarter line. They keep it going to the right. Oh, there was a shot there and a penalty.
Yeah, everything going Warwick's way at the moment, Gary.
Yeah, it is at the moment, and that's what needs to happen, and Warwick need more enthusiasm, and it was great to see Harry Sullivan. The back three have got to do a lot more work. They've got to take it out for these forwards and give them an opportunity.
Bloomfield kicks to this clubhouse side.
And it's touched.
Is it touched? No, he was out of play, so right in front of us here. So Mitchie Watson will pass it to Bloomfield, and Bloomfield will tap it. 35 out from the Valley's goal line. So Don takes it straight off the tap, does a bit of footwork before the line before he's taken in a Jock Waters tackle. They keep it going to the right through Tandy. Tandy has numbers. Fender, I think it is, slips in the tackle. What's the referee's pulled up something, a discretion there. I think it was a high shot, was it?
I think it was, but gee, I tell you what, Pender, he had Drew Jackson, Alona Budden and Joey Moore.
We've got a young fella, Mickey Bloomfield's boy on the field.
He sure
wants
is.
to talk to his dad.
He
Don't
sure
you love
is.
country footy?
You love country footy,
At
yeah.
its finest. Dad, where are you?
Anyway.
So Warwick just keep the roll going through Bradfield, and he's worked it 5 metres to the try line. Sullivan goes in at dummy half. He has another shot out of there, and they get the penalty too. Marker's not straight. So Valleys compounding the errors one by one here at the moment.
Gee, they're really putting it to Valleys at the moment, Cookie.
And they tap it and comes to Don. Don just takes the line on, runs into a Jock Waters shoulder, and will play it. Sullivan goes for a shot out of dummy half again. tries to snipe him. That's his specialty, and made play it. Don goes out the back to Tandy. Tandy drops one along the ground. Great kick. Silly Toe goes back for it, and they'll trap him, do they? Yes, they do. So they'll get a restart. So the run is all Warwick at the moment.
I can tell you what, with Miles, Silito and Chan at the back, they are so elusive, and to get them caught in their dead zone. Their chases were very, very good so far in the second half. 14 points to 6 Valleys over Warwick, 7 minutes into the second half. Cookie?
Valleys not in a hurry to restart. They've been under the pump.
They certainly have.
The whole 7 minutes of this second half. And Dwayne Duncan slow to come up and restart with a dropout. That's a big dropout, and they've just let it and it's gone. 50 on the fly. Fender has to go back for it, and he's got a head of steam up, and he runs it back. That's a good run by the young fella, and he's got it back to the 30-metre line. Sullivan in a dummy half, passes it on to Tandy. Tandy turns it back into Bradfield, who just takes a settler. Sullivan goes to the right to Marshall. Marshall out the back, goes to Don. Don turns. Oh, Burn back on the inside, but he's run into a shoulder there.
He's just crunching tonight.
So Sullivan, short ball.
Burn.
Poked his nose through the line. They keep it going through the same way. Mitchie Watson, I think it is. No, it's not. Who's on that other wing? Harry Sullivan nearly goes over. So it goes back to Matty Marshall. Matty Marshall gets it to Tandy. Tandy drops it on the toe. And it goes back to Zach Moores. Great position. And he runs across field. And he brings it back. And he's finally rounded up by Joey Firmino.
Yeah, it wasn't effective. Just the last couple of hit-ups in that last set of 6 for the Cowboys, Gary.
Yeah, they've just got to be more patient. That's all it is. They're trying too hard, and they've got to go forward first.
So Budden does a captain's run, gets it back, plays it on his own 35 metres. Valleys working it slowly back towards the halfway. McGrady throws a long ball out to Zach Miles. Got a bit of pace in front of him. Mitch Watson misses him. Joey Firmino takes him into touch. Great work by both of them. Pressure him. Zach Miles chanced his arm there and come up second best. So they'll get an S&K drilling scrum, the Warwick Cowboys. 10 metres on their side of the halfway. 9 minutes gone in this second half. They trail 14-6. And they're on the march.
I don't know about you, Gary, but Warwick just seemed to be on their game the second half, especially 10 minutes into it.
Yeah, look, Matt Crew would have said just keep it simple, help everyone out on the field. The back three, you've got to bring it out for them. And the forwards, just keep it simple. Belt them and bash them.
So Craig Don, that's a good run, but he's yanked back by Miller. Says, come here, son.
He has been brutal today.
Cohen Brown, great work by him. Martin Brown, sorry. That's a good run. Plays it on the 40-metre line on Valley side. Joey Firmino, that's even better run. Gets it on the front foot. Sullivan out of dummy half. Good read by Bowring. Stops him in his tracks. So, move field. Gets it on. Out to Matty Marshall. Matty Marshall on the burn, but gets it flat-footed. And he's easy pickings for the Valleys Roosters defence. They go to the right. Burn kicks it. Does it go dead in goal? No, they have to play at it. Smart kick. Great work by the Warwick Cowboys. They're really pressuring. Did they get there? Actually, they've got a hand to this. The referee goes over to his touch judge. What's he going to call? I think he is. That's a Toowoomba Sports Club try.
He sure has.
I couldn't see who it was.
No, but congratulations to them. It's very, very good.
It's over there in that dark corner. We'll see it in the replay. Was it Harry Sullivan?
It could have been, mate. Let's have a look at the Hutchie's Builders instant replay on Power TV. That might give it. No. That's way after it there. It was a big delay, wasn't there, Gary Lawrence?
Yeah, there was, and it all comes about everyone trying to work very hard for each other and straighten the tack up, and they put a kick through and follow through and commitment to each other. So it was very dark over in that corner, and they're just trying to work out who, I think between all the players out there now, they're trying to work out who it was because everyone went through it all at once.
Well, in fact, I think the only people who know it is a couple of players over that far side because the ground announcer is calling out, who scored that try? Yeah. We don't know, and so we'll see what happens from here. Here's the Goodyear Pittsworth Tyre and Mechanical Gold. It seems to be about 10 metres in from the other side of Mickey Bloomfield. This will make it a 2-point ball game. In he comes. It's high. It's important kick, of course.
It's a
beauty. We've got both up, so it is game on. It is 14-12. We have 28 minutes left in this magnificent game here. It's been all Warwick in the second half. And in the blink of the eye, they're back challenging this wonderful premiership winning side of Valleys. But it's game on, Terry Cook.
Yeah, 12 minutes gone, 14-12. The try scorer, Harry Sullivan, I've just heard the announcer say. So it was the Harry Sullivan. A great kick. I think it was Cody Byrne that put the kick in. An absolute pinpoint. And the little whip at Harry Sullivan's gone straight through and outfoxed the Warwick Valleys defence and come up with the 4-pointer, which they turned into 6. So 14-12, 13 minutes gone. And Dwayne Duncan puts in one of those high kicks. It goes down to Tandy. Tandy gets it on to Martin Brown. And he's quickly claimed by the Valleys defence, 10 out from his try line. Bloomfield, Mickey, customary run, wrestled the ground. Gains another 10 metres before he's made play it. Tandy gets a flat-footed fender, but he decides, still pumps the legs, and he's worked it back 30 out from his try line. So, Benny Sullivan, short ball onto Don, working in tandem up the middle, so they're hammering the Valleys, thinking that there's space in around behind the ruck. There's the penalty. Not rolling out. Buchanan it is.
Arguing with it round the grounds of Nev Cherry Pest Control. It is 18-16, Gundy and Pittsworth. Similar game to this one. We are 14-12. So we've got two very close games here for the Toowoomba match of the day. And Gary Lyons, you can just feel things happening.
You can there, Andy.
Oh, nearly got the camera lady. Yuki had to duck there, you ripper. There's Gary.
Yeah, it's that's the fourth penalty to Warwick. So Valleys need to watch their discipline here, or they'll be penalised out of the game. And Warwick have completed 7 from 7, and Valleys 2 from 4.
So Sullivan working in around the ruck, gets it onto McMahon. McMahon, the defence was up in his face, so he just takes the tackle, and he'll play it 22 metres from the try line. Tandy gets it onto Martin Brown, and he just takes the yards. Good run by him, and he'll get the quick play of the ball. Sullivan darts out of there, gets it onto Don. Don looking for a space, gets away from McGrady. Still going, Craig Don. Don is good. He's come alive in the second half, and he'll play it 5 short of the try line. So Sullivan throws a long ball. He ends up with Fender. Fender comes back, and he runs into Buchanan. And a wall of defence there, and he'll be made play it on the last tackle. So they go to the right again. Marshall back into Firmino. He'll crash over. And the Cowboys hit the front for the first time with a Toowoomba Sports Club try to Joey Firmino.
Yeah, wonderful try by Big Joey. I tell you what, it wasn't the best of pass by Benny Sullivan. It was on the last. Valleys just had to hang on for one more. And let's have a look at it on the Hutch's Builders replay on for Power TV. Comes inside for Joey Firmino, and he just dives. Fairly well out he was, but a wonderful try, Gary Lyons.
Yeah, it looked very hard to stop that close to the line. Matty Marshall knew that they weren't moving across on the inside there, so he turned it back inside to Joe. Obviously, Joe was in there ready for that because it was a set play. He was there. He wasn't going to the outside. So great opportunity now for Warwick. They've just got to be. We've got Mitch McMahon coming to the sideline. He's limping badly. Rummel's going back on, and their front rowers.
Yeah, it's really a game of attrition at the present time. But I tell you what, look, I'm fairly surprised. You know what we saw that first half, and all of a sudden we got 3 quick tries here by Warwick, and they are dominating at the moment. We're still only had 16 minutes in the second half, and now they're in front with this Goodyear Gold of 18 points to 14, Terry Cook.
Yes.
Fairly surprising, isn't it, mate? Because we were just complimenting the ways of Valleys, weren't we, Cookie?
Well, they've come out in the second half very undisciplined, Valleys, and they've virtually invited Warwick back in, haven't they, Gary?
They have,
Just
from a
through-
drop ball, four penalties in a row.
Exactly right. So
Warwick haven't conceded the penalty at this point in time, and touch wood they won't, but, you can't give any side a sniff in this competition.
no, and Warwick have had nearly all the possession in this second half. So Dwayne Duncan with that customary high ball, those hang balls they call it, it goes down to Tandy, and Tandy gets it onto Martin Brown, and Martin Brown just brings it back, plays it just in front of his goal post. So for Vega, the big fella, takes a hit up with some force. Bromwell backs it up. Good work, tandem by the middleman, and they'll play it 25 out from the try line. Sullivan he ducks out a dummy half. Geez, he's been dangerous.
He has.
He's really worked that middle. So Tandy, he's going to kick long. It comes down to Zach Miles, and he'll take it on the bounce on his own 22, and he heads back infield, does a bit of a hop, skip and a jump, but good chase by Tandy. Rounds him up with the help of Benny Sullivan. Chown throws it over there to Aaron Sillytoe, but the Warwick defence, they've got a spring in their step. Meets him on the advantage line. Slow play the ball. Chown gets it to Duncan. Duncan turns it back in for Moore, but the Warwick defence in numbers pin him. Chown out of dummy half. That's a good run by the fullback. Decides to make some yardage himself, and he'll play it on the halfway. Bowering comes to the right to McGrady. McGrady decides to kick early and kicks it along the ground, and Don finally picks it up and just brings it back. Great tackle, Richard Murray it was, with the help of Zach Miles. So Joey Firmino, who scored the last Toowoomba Sports Club try to put them in front 18-14 with 21 to play. Vega, he brings it back. Play it on his own 30-metre line. Slow play the ball. Bromwell backs it up. So they're working in tandem, the two new fresh players on the field for the Cowboys. Sullivan keeps it going right. Goes to Martin Brown, I think it is. He's been good. He's added some impact. They keep it going to the right. Marshall chips one over the top. And it's picked up by Byrne, I think it was, but
That'll be
it wasn't touched by Valley, so yes, a changeover on the last, but enterprising stuff by Warwick.
Yes, it certainly was, and there was a bit better. Well, it was a better defensive set of six by the Roosters. They really watched Ben Sullivan then, who has been running rings around them in the second half, around the grounds with Nev Cherry Pest Control. It is Gundawindi 22, Pittsburgh 16 with 25 minutes to go, Cookie.
Yeah, so Buchanan bounces out of one tackle. There's numbers in there with Benny Sullivan and Martin Brown pull him to ground. So they come to the right. Chown, he's been getting in a dummy half, darting out of there, gets it back to Sharp, and he'll play it just over into Warwick territory. They keep it coming the same way. McGrady out to Zach Miles. He's in behind him. Forward pass, though. Oh.
I was wondering when Corey McGrady was going to raise his head, and he looked very good at that occasion, Gary.
He did, and unluckily travelled forward because Zach Miles was out and around.
Mitchie Watson, Mitchie Watson caught out by a McGrady special.
Could you think,
flat ball.
And in the second half, Valleys really haven't had the ball, have they? And that was the first time we actually saw some dangerous play that really pressured the Cowboys' line.
On the back of Chown, getting out a dummy half.
And he has been good tonight, Chown. But look, Ben Sullivan's raids from dummy half has really made this Cowboys be in front, and they deserve to be in front by 18 points to 14 with 19 minutes left in this match. Cookie.
So the S&K drilling scrum taken out by Warwick. Don quickly picked up. No, they keep it going. Oh, that was a special from Mower, I think it was. Yeah.
Brutal today.
Bounced out of it.
It's a big forwards game, isn't it, today?
And it was Josh Cruz who was on the end of that one. But Valleys, they've gone up a gear in defence, And the referee said you tried to milk that Benny Sullivan again, so there's another one gone against him.
Well, when you think about it, he's got them back into the game, and he made some uncharacteristic errors in the first half, Gary.
Yeah, look, they have been, but he's trying very hard, and I think you'll find that a lot of that is frustration and knowing that they've got to pick up the intensity and the speed, and he's trying to lead his team, and that's what's happened.
And the advantage he's got is that they are in front, Cookie.
Yeah, so Dylan Chown in at 5'8", takes it and just takes the yards off Warwick, and he'll play it 40 out from Warwick's try line. So they keep it going to the left. Comes to the right, Bowering. No, Cook, Benny Cook throws a flat ball to Sharp. Sharp gets second phase play and ends up with Murray. He tries to beat Famono, which he does, but the defence of Benny Sullivan comes across. They keep it coming to the right through Chown. Chown grabbed by the jersey, still going. Famono hangs on and finally wrestles him to ground a metre from the try line. Couple of tackles up their sleeve. Bowering throws a big long ball to McGrady, absolute beauty. Finds Sharp, good defence. Josh Cruz it was. Bowering out of dummy half, has a shot, does he get there? Last tackle. Can the Cowboys hang on? They come back to McGrady. He'll stab one for himself. It's still on the ground. And it's been knocked on by who?
Yeah, by Warwick. There was a little grubber off his right foot, Corey McGrady. Ben Sullivan went it. He spilt the ball. It went backwards, and I think it was young Martin Brown. He had to do something and accidentally knocked it on at that occasion. But look, again, McGrady being very dangerous for this Cowboys outfit, Gary.
Yeah, look, he has been, and he is a star. He's in the, he's made the Rangers, and he's showing what he can do here. But that Warwick have got to hang on here. If they can hang on, they're in the game.
17 minutes left.
Back-to-back sets against the Cowboys, and Valleys on the attack. Out through Short. I think it is out there on the left-hand edge. We'll play it. Benny Cook goes into dummy half. Gets it to Buchanan. Buchanan tries to steamroll his way over, but the Warwick defence in numbers pin him a metre short from the try line. Bowering, long ball, out to Ben Cook, onto McGrady. People in motion. It ends up with Budden, and Budden crashes, but a reef in the tackle. Yeah, stripped by Warwick. Bloomfield was in there, so they'll get another set of 6. This will be third on the trot. Bowering will tap it, 10 out from the try line. They go to Sharp. Sharp, manhandled in physical defence.
Rommel.
Bowering comes back to the right to McGrady. He takes the line on. Does he get there? I think he has.
No,
held up. Great work by the Cowboys. Who was that underneath? Absolute special. McGrady was there for all money.
I think it was Dom. Dom is good, and he has played very well today, Craig Don. And he's hurt himself by attempting
and Benny Sullivan. Dom and Benny. Don is good, and Benny Sullivan. So
I think Craig Don is one of the underrated players in the competition, and he has played well tonight, Gary Lawrence.
Look, he has, and he's on his day, he can be as good as any fullback in this competition, and he grows with confidence, and when his confidence is sky high, he's playing and leading the team around.
This is a high quality game. These two teams are really going each other. 15 minutes left. Matson Rasmussen final berth on the line. Cookie doesn't get any better.
It doesn't, Ovie. And McGrady, who made play at 10 metres back from the try line, Bowering in at dummy half. 18-14. Valleys. Warwick cling to a lead. It goes with Benny Cook. Throws a long ball out to Chown. The runners overrun him, so he comes back and he's wrestled. Benny Sullivan's in there with a few other Warwick Cowboys, and he's made play it. 15 from the try line. They keep it going to the left. Sharp beats one, evades one, but runs into a wall. I think it's Brommel pulls him to ground. They come back to the right. Goes to Ben Cook. Ben Cook to McGrady. Chown onto Murray. Onto Zach Miles. And they just ran out of numbers, Warwick. And what did he say? Forward pass. The touch judge picks that one up. forward pass.
Wow, that's a long way from our commentary position there, and who are we to say there? But just by the reaction of it, yes, look, left off the hook there, the Cowboys.
Here we go.
Let's have a look at it. Here's a replay.
McGrady.
Yep, he goes wide, and that's Chown as a Cookie.
Yep, and it's that pass there, I'd say, onto Murray.
Yes, because, the ref did the sideline, and Shawnee Toomer's there. He knows his stuff. Right, so it's game on, still 4-point ball game, 14 minutes to go. It's the Cowboys hang on to a 4-point lead. 18-14.
Harry Sullivan taking in a high shot.
And they all come together.
Yeah, bit of pushing and shoving. The tension starting to bubble over here at Father Ranger Oval.
Well, there's plenty on, I can tell you, mate. There's plenty on the plate there, mate. Mats and Rasmussen, this game is setting up the finals, Cookie.
13 minutes left to play.
Oh, I've lost for words, Cookie. Come on, fire up, Cookie.
Warwick cling to an 18-14 lead, and they've just been given a penalty. Referee saying everyone go back. We're going to call out the captains, I'd say, and we're going to cool everyone down. Valleys have got a player down. I think it's Dylan Chown. So it's all happening here at Father Ranger Oval.
Yes, Gary Lawrence.
Yeah, look, it's plenty of excitement out here, as we've already said. But Valleys have come 4 times to their right-hand side, or the Warwick Cowboys' left-hand edge, and they believe, and they've only gone once to the left-hand side. So they honestly believe that they can go through Mitch Watson and Joey. They must be coming in, and they've picked that up, but that's 4 times to 1 time now. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yes. Yep, fantastic stuff.
It's
well, we're going to see this. It's on report, so there'll be no send-off, you would think, with it being on report.
Who was it? Jock Waters? No, Moore. Was it?
Moore, I think Harry Sullivan stepped back inside and he
just caught him. There was nothing really in it, but
he got 10 minutes for Matty Marshall, and I would think that would be because of coming in that third man there, Cookie.
So there you go.
And the referees have been very, very consistent with that all season. So this is a turning point with 13 minutes to go, 18 points to 14. Gundy 28-16 over Pittsworth. 34-16 over Pittsworth with 12 minutes to go out there at Club Pittsworth.
Mickey Bloomfield still talking to the referee. So the penalty's going to go to Valleys by the looks of that. He's going to overturn it. How do you do that?
Well, it's got me.
He has
a penalty there.
Wow. How do you do that?
Well,
jeez.
Anyway, that'll be talked about, but we'll see what happens. Here's a crucial
Dwayne Duncan just taps it after the penalty's been reversed, and he'll play it. They keep it going down that left. Miller tries to crash over, bounces out of one, still going.
Great defence.
Great work by Warwick. Hold him out. The ball shot out the back. I'm not sure. The referee says knock back. Bearings ended up with it. No.
It's Warwick's ball.
Yes.
He put that down to Benny Sullivan and some scrambling defence on Joey Moore, Cookie.
Desperation stuff by Warwick. Vivega. He tries to bring it up, but Valley's defence has gone up a gear and swarm all over him like a rash. They go to the right. Fender, I think it is, plays it. No, it was Bromwell. Vivega takes another hit up. But the Valley's defence up in their face, and they've used up 4. Sullivan out of dummy half. That's a good run by Cullen. Martin Brown. They keep it coming to the left. Tandy kicks it. Mitchie Watson giving chase. Again. It comes off Zach Miles' legs. He didn't panic and he dives on it. Great work by the young winger. And Murray out of dummy half. Steals some yards. Tries to run over the top of Joey Mono, but Mono flings him to ground. Zachy Miles taken by his opposite number and Mitch Watson wrestles him to ground on the halfway on this clubhouse side. So Nathan Short trundles up and they're caught offside. Bloomfield stealing the ball, reefing the ball, 2 in the tackle.
They've got to get that discipline right here, the Cowboys, if they're going to win this game. This Valley side will take advantage of you. 18-14, 11 minutes left, Cookie.
They're a man down, the Warwick Cowboys too, so they want the ball as much as they can. 11 minutes left. They cling to an 18-14 lead, the Cowboys. Valley's on the attack. Through the line, Bud swivels out of one tackle, crawls on the ground before he's made play it. Oh, bit of push and shove.
Oh, here's Nathan Shaw. Grab that kitchen sink, Gary Lawrence.
Yeah, there's plenty of pressure going on all these players.
Cookie.
Bowring, they keep it going to the left. They go over to Duncan. Duncan tries to crash his way through Byrne, but Byrne's up to the task with Harry Sullivan clinging on. They come back to the right. Benny Cook throws a long ball to McGrady. He's got people up back of Buchanan. Oh! Beats one, but he can't beat Byrne. They keep it going on the last. McGrady stabs one along the ground. Great hands. Who was that?
That was Cody Byrne.
Oh, great stuff by him.
Yeah, wonderful stuff. And it was a flick pass inside by Corey McGrady that nearly put Dexter Buchanan. And then the very next set of tackle. Hang on, we've got a knock on here by the Cowboys. Gee, a CNR concreting coach killer there, Gary Lawrence.
Yeah. Well, Coach Killer, you're not wrong there.
Yeah.
I think it's the go, and they do that 20 metres out from their own.
And kitchen sink stuff. What would have been, a half a dozen sets of 6 here, Cookie?
Yes, easy, half a dozen. And Warwick are on the ropes. They cling to an 18-14 lead, 9 minutes. They're down to 12 men. Their scrambling defence has been sensational. And as Gary said, there's probably been 6 or 7 sets on their line, and they've just come up with a CR concreting coach killer knock on. So there'll be another scrum to the Valley's Roosters. 15 out from the try line.
Yeah, it sure has. And it's been a game of attrition in the second half. How long can the Cowboys hang on with this immense pressure from the Valley's Roosters? Here's this S&K drilling scrum feed by the Roosters, Cookie.
An opportunity here from a set play from the scrum. Bowring throws it out to McGrady, out the back to Chown. Chown tries to run around and then he heads back, flings out of a couple, and Mickey Bloomfield finally rounds him up and makes him stand and play it. Bowring, long ball to McGrady. McGrady, a longer ball out there to Moore. Moore palms off one, still going. And still going. Oh, pulled out
of the game.
A metre short in front of the scoreboard. They come back to Benny Cook, to McGrady. Passes a flat ball to Richard Murray. On to Zach Miles. Steps back inside. And he gets there. He gets the Toowoomba Sports Club try. 5 metres in from touch. 8 minutes to play. And we have a lock ball game.
Yeah, fire up, Cookie. I tell you what, put that try down to Joey Moore. He was nearly over. See the replay here on Power TV for Hutchison's Builders. Here's Corey McGrady again. A real flat pass that did the trick there. And he goes across to Zachy Miles. And he just had to come back against the grain. And he scored, which was just plenty of pressure there, Gary Lawrence.
Yeah, and that's the 7th time they come to the right-hand side. They had a couple of forward passes, disallowed tries, but it's paid dividends coming to this right-hand side. They're just going to the left, dragging them in, and go to the right. But when they went to that left-hand side there, or their left-hand side to the scoreboard side, I thought that the big forward hit it up well, but probably could have just catched the pass. And they had him out wide, but look, great game, isn't it? 18 all, 7 minutes to go, and we've got the best caller in town here with Cookie calling this game.
And it's been 48 minutes since Valleys have scored. And look, it's a credit to the Cowboys, but this here, keep in mind that if it is a draw, then Valleys will advance to the Mets and Rasmussen. So it is 18 all
against?
No, because they'll go to 16 points.
Oh, yes.
Warwick will go to 15 points.
Yes.
And Waddles have got for and against on Warwick. So 7 minutes to go. Still an important kick as far as the season's concerned, Cookie.
Yes. Dwayne Duncan, he's about 7 metres in from this grandstand touch line.
No pressure again, Cookie, is there?
No. Pittsworth Tyre and Mechanical Goodyear goal. He steadies himself, takes a big breath, comes in, and I think he sprayed it left. So we have a tied up ball game with 6 minutes to play. Matty Marshall still in the sin bin. Cowboys down to 12 men. They've turned them away, but on the 7th time they've come to the right, as Gary Lawrence mentioned. They cracked it. Zach Moll goes over for the Toowoomba Sports Club try.
Still one of the games of the season for me, guys. And it does come down. 6 minutes doesn't get any better than this, Cookie.
Tandy puts in a kick, doesn't go far. Chown comes forward, takes it on his 22 and just decides to take it forward. And he's met by the Warwick defence, led by Brommel. So Jock Waters comes back into it, runs into Broomfield, Mickey Broomfield, and he bulldogs him to the ground. So Bowring gets it onto Buchanan. He only knows one way, straight and hard, and he'll play it just short of the halfway. Bowring keeps it going to the left to McGrady. McGrady takes the line on. He's still going. Oh, danger there. And he'll play it over into Warwick territory. Benny Cook stabs one down into the corner. Harry Sullivan goes back and retrieves it. Great work by the young winger. And he'll play it 20 out from his try line.
There's still 5 minutes left. Plenty of time left for the Cowboys. This set of 6 is crucial.
So Bird plays it. Oh, Mitchie Watson. They're calling for a high one from Delane Budden. Now the referee's saying, what's he saying here?
We'll just see what happens here.
No, he's just saying time off. No,
we've got Mitchie Watson with a looks like a
Cramp.
Yeah,
a cramp there as well.
He's just called time off, I think. So, yeah, Mitchie Watson gone down with a cramp.
And Callum Hart hasn't come back to the sideline, and obviously
I'd say he's had a share and
that left eye injury. He hasn't been able to come back, and look, Valleys will miss him if they were to go through, and if Warwick were to win this game, they're going to be battered and bruised for next week.
It has been a physical game, hasn't it?
Oh, it's been a great game.
It's been a great game, actually, you know. So, and it looks like Gundawindy's got that wrapped up out there at Club Pittsburgh, 38 points to 16. 8 minutes to go. There was our last check on that score there. Around the grounds with Nev Cherry Pest Control. And
here at Father Ranger Oval, 18 all, 5 minutes to play. Warwick down to 12 men with Matty Marshall in the bin. Second tackle, Mitchie Watson will play it on his own 30-metre line, midfield.
Who's coming from the field there? Is that
Moore?
Joe Moore.
And he has been tremendous today, Joey Moore.
He's been playing on that left-hand edge. He hasn't been playing in the middle, so that's a big blow to him.
And Drew Jackson's going on. He's a big boy too, isn't he?
He is.
That's right. Well,
big man for a big man.
Freshmen might just do it. We'll see what happens. 18 all, 5 to go.
Warwick really need to get to a kick and a big chase. So, plenty of feeling in that. There was a hit and spin. Bradfield plays it. Benny Sullivan gets it to Vavega. They've worked it back to the halfway. Good work by the Warwick forwards. Last tackle. Sullivan in at dummy half. Goes to Tandy. Tandy fades, beats a couple of them, puts in a kick. Chown takes it 5 metres in front of his try line, but there's a wall of Warwick players, and they wrap him up. 10 out from the try line. They let him play it quickly. So Silly Toe, relieving the forwards, runs across field. Gains about 5 before he's wrapped up. Drew Jackson, he'll only know one way, backs himself into defence, still going the big unit, and plays it. 35 out from his try line. They keep it going. Sharp, still going. The referee says play on, gets up and goes again. That's a good run by the second rower. He's probably been their best in the forwards, and he'll play it just in Warwick's territory. Baring passes it on. Goes out to McGrady. McGrady, beats one. Still going. Throws, lobs one over to Murray. Murray taken in a Mitchie Watson tackle. Good one-on-one. Plays it on the last. They'll go back to McGrady. He'll throw one out to Benny Cook. Benny Cook, they're going to run it on the last out to Duncan. Duncan still going. But the defence, Great work by Warwick. Stop them and they'll get a changeover. 4 minutes left. 18 all. When's the player come back on for Warwick? Because they certainly need that extra man. Oh, they're under the pump. Valley's gone up a gear.
But there's a spilt ball.
Oh, no, yes. Warwick have come up with a fumble.
Young Katie Burns has turned the ball over. And they'll have to defend here. This set of 6 will be crucial to the Warwick Cowboys.
Absolute crucial. Can Warwick muster a miracle? Because they can't go with a draw, can they, Obi?
No, they can't. They need to win this game.
So, Valleys, they only need 3 minutes to go. They only need to wind the clock down to virtually seal their place. And it goes to McGrady out to Chown. Chown shut the gate. Too fast for Tandy. And that's the ball game. Chown just beats Tandy at 5'8". It goes in for the Toowoomba Sports Club try. And Valleys have hit the front again. 22-18 with the Toowoomba Sports Club try going to Dylan Chown.
Let's have a look at this replay on Power TV for Hutchison's Builders. It comes out wide. And Chown has been dangerous all day. He's probably been one of the most dangerous attacking players, especially with Callum Hart off it. And he just gets off some lazy, tired defence there. And he scores just beside the post to wrap up this game, and a polished performance here by Valleys, even though they were found wanting early in the second half, Gary Lawrence.
Yeah, look, they were found wanting in the second half. They made a lot of mistakes. They allowed Warwick back into the game. But Warwick, to their credit, they kept working and working and working, and they got back into the game, Warwick themselves, and put points on the board, and 18 all, and then again, they've come to the right-hand side. They've gone from that play there. Corey McGrady tips on to Dylan Chow, and he just gets on the outside, too much pace, too quick, and he beat a tired defender in Cody Tandy. Cody Tandy's worked very hard, and I know looking at the Warwick side, they're disappointed in letting them in. They've defended so well, and they wouldn't have minded finishing this game 18 all. Reggie Munns hasn't gone back on either this second half since he came off with that back injury.
No, yeah, they just ran out of legs, the Warwick Cowboys.
I think so, and I think where we said, I think it was half a dozen set of 6, wasn't it, Cookie? You know?
Yeah.
And when the second half kept going, Valleys had to eventually get the ball, didn't they? And here's this good year tire and mechanical goal attempt by Dwayne Duncan. This will make it 24 points to 18. You would think he's been kicking very well, but what a polished game this has been. I mean, I tell you what, both sides have really gone at it.
Oh, look, they haven't. You know, like Warwick, in the first half, they completed 9 of 17. Second half, 12 of 15. So they picked the second half up. And, you know, Valleys, they completed 13 of 17 in the 14 of 18, in the first half, and 11 of 16 in the second half. So it's a great game. Both sides have played exceptionally well here.
Yeah, they have. It's been an absolutely thoroughly entertaining game of rugby league. Benny Sullivan does a short kick-off. Will they get the ball back? No, they don't. It hasn't come off, and Richard Murray ends up with the ball. Buchanan taken in an absolute bell ringer there. I think it was Bradfield was first contact, wrapped him up. No, it was Benny Sullivan. So Bowring gets it on to Budden. Budden just takes the yards and he'll play it just short of the halfway on this clubhouse side. Slow play the ball. The clock's winding down. Jock Waters. So Valleys will run out winners here at Father Ranger Oval. Siren will go any second. Bowring just stabs one, but comes off Tandy. Oh! Tandy put the pressure on, but Budden kicks it in, and there goes the siren. So the Valleys Roosters have run out winners, 24-18 here at Father Ranger Oval, to book their place in the Madsen Rathman. What is it?
You've got it there, Cookie. Madsen Rasmussen next weekend against whoever.
Waddles. It'll be Waddles on tomorrow. Because keep in mind, there's a deficit here of 6 points here for Warwick, and they're already 24 points behind Waddles there as well. Unless, of course, Oakey beat Wattles by more than 28 points.
28 points.
Is a scenario tomorrow.
Well, that won't happen.
But great game, Gary Lawrence.
It was a great game, and look, Warwick, yes, they're disappointed or can be disappointed in this game, but they can take a lot out of it. I tell you what, their forwards are getting better, they're getting harder, they're getting match hardened, and the new front rower that they've brought into the side, Vega, that's probably his best game I've seen him play this year. He's getting more involved, his leg speed. He hasn't played rugby league for 12 months, and he's getting better.
Match fitness,
Cookie, and you know, Bradfield played
going longer minutes too.
Yeah, and it's quality what he's involved with. And Bradfield played the first 40 minutes, and then played the next 10 minutes, and then he had 5-6 minutes off, and then went back on and played the rest of it. You know, they're a great side. They're going to be a good side, and don't discard them. They'll make the finals.
Yeah,
and,
they will. They certainly will.
Watching this today, they will.
Yeah, great experience for those young fellas in their side too. To really, they tested it just that.
Who's number 10 for Pittsburgh?
With about 20 to go, they just dropped off that intensity, and they had to do, as you said, about 7 back to back.
Yeah, and that's it. You're right on there, Cookie. They're a young side, whether it be Cody Burns, you know, the Mitch Watson on there, you know, the Colin Martin Brown, those sort of guys. They're all really exceptional young kids, and they're getting better. And that's what they need to play against men. Winning premiership side from last year, that Valley side. And Fender and those guys, they're getting better as well. You know, they're only young kids, and this is looking good for the side.
Yep.
Okay, so a convincing win. David Armstrong, I think we've got a little bit of a new star on the block here, Cookie, and wonderful competition we have. And let's look at our players of the match, and 3-2-1 first to you, Gary Lawrence.
Well, look, I think it's pretty hard to pick a winner out of that 3-2-1, but, you know, like Benny Sullivan from the Warwick side was tireless in attack and defence. But, you know, their forwards did a lot of things. Josh Cruz worked hard. You know, it's pretty hard to pick one player from the Warwick side, but, you know, I think Ben Sullivan will probably get my 2 points. But with the Valley side, you know, I think, you know, Corey McGrady was outstanding. He just led him around the park without overplaying his hand at times. And, you know, up until Callum Hart went off, I thought he was the standout centre there. I thought he was exceptional there. But, you know, they're a great side. I just found it hard to... Dylan Chow was good as well.
Yeah, well...
you know, he'd probably be a 1-pointer. Corey McGrady a 3.
Okay, myself, I thought Joey Moore from the first set of 6 where he made absolute fantastic yards, and then he made himself a presence out there all night, and he made a difference in his defence, and I thought he was outstanding, and I thought I'd give him... 3 points. Look, Benny Sullivan in that period, I thought he was very good and he deserves the 2 points. And maybe Jason Sharp there for his tireless efforts for 1 point, Cookie.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Joey Moore?
Yeah, I thought Nathan Bowring was outstanding for him. He played a full 80 minutes and he threatened them all game from dummy half. So, and they just, every time they got the ball back. But
he could be a 1-pointer there because he played a big minutes and he did a great job out there.
He did, he did a lot of tireless cover-up defence. So, but no, Joey Moore, I'm happy with the 3 points. 2 points to Benny Sullivan, and then the 1 point it's up to whatever you guys want to give.
Yeah, look,
I
think you've got to go with you know, if we're looking at the forwards, and
Sharp. I thought he was
strong.
Good. Yeah.
It was a forward match, boys, don't you reckon?
It was, yes. It was.
You know, McGrady did his job. He steered him around the side. He gave him that width when they needed to go to the wide. You know, his passing was exceptional. His selection was good. But it was a forwards game, whether it be Warwick or whether it be Valleys. And you see them out here today. They're all arm in arm, shoulder to shoulder, wrapping each other and saying how good they played. And they're obviously getting the photos taken, everyone together. So that's great to see, isn't it?
What was the
double?
The double. Did you get the double?
No, I got it last week.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Tricia's behind you. I think she's got the double.
Yeah, I hope she has.
Yeah.
But
be good to your mother. That's what it is.
You were saying there, but look,
who are you giving the 1 point to?
We'll give it to Jason Sharp.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah,
you know,
okay. I think, he was tireless.
He was tireless.
And when they were struggling, especially in that period in the first part of the second half, he was sort of the one that got them back down the other end, and good stuff.
Yeah, so our Marangadan Pub player of the match goes to Joey Mua, and that's all I wanted to do it for, so I could do it. But he was outstanding. Certainly his best game of the season, and it was very good. For your last say, Gary Lawrence?
Oh, look, we've seen a great game of rugby league. Everyone was a winner. I know the score says that Valleys were the winner, but everyone was a winner here today. We had a great crowd, exceptional crowd, I should say. Not a great crowd, an exceptional crowd for Toowoomba Rugby League, and hopefully we see more of this in the weeks ahead.
And, I thought it was a fantastic game. Look, tomorrow, tune in live with Power FM. We go to air at 1:30 for the Waddles versus Oakey game. There still is a scenario which is not realistic. 29 points Oakey has to beat Waddles by tomorrow for Warwick to make the Matson Rasmussen thing. But we've seen a wonderful game there. And for the last say, over to you, Terry Cook.
Yeah, so Valley's Roosters have run out winners here, 24-18 against the Warwick Cowboys. For the Cowboys, tries to Harry Sullivan, Joey Firmino and Benny Sullivan, with Michael Bloomfield kicking three goals. And then for Valley's Roosters, Dylan Chow gets a try, Zach Miles got a try, Aaron Sillytoe a try and Benny Cook a try, and 4 goals to Dwayne Duncan. So absolute thriller here, 24-18 the Valley's Roosters against the Warwick Cowboys. On behalf of Obi, Gary, myself, our partners, Power FM, and our TV partners, Power TV Australia, it's goodbye here from Father Ranger Oval and all our crew. Always look after your friends and family. And rugby league football, it's the greatest game of all.
Every week on Power TV Australia, the TRL Footy Show, proudly sponsored by Power FM and Hutchie's Builders. Join our team of experts Friday morning at 7 for an in-depth analysis, plus the latest news from all the clubs leading into the weekend's games and some fun along the way. The TRL Footy Show. Catch it online at powertvaustralia.com or take it with you anywhere by downloading the Power TV app. Power TV Australia, the home of the TRL Footy Show. For a news slant on local television, you can't go past the Power TV network. Catch up on all the latest local news, sport, events and entertainment on Toowoomba's own online television station, Power TV Australia, home of the TRL Footy Show. Find us at powertvaustralia.com or take us with you wherever you go by downloading the Power TV Australia app. Discover a whole new world of entertainment at Power TV Australia.
Looking for exposure for your business or event? Take your business, community event, training seminar, sports fixture, function, concert or exhibition to the world with Power TV Australia and Power FM's unique live outside simulcasts. We can turn your next local event into a worldwide sensation with stunning live pictures, interviews, graphics and live action replays for a fraction of the usual cost. From a festival or sports fixtures to a corporate or charity event, Power TV Australia and Power FM can take your message live to our local and national viewers and listeners. Invite the world to your party by contacting Barry today on 0431 390 920 or email programming@powertvaustralia.com for a quote.
This has been a live production by the Power TV Network in conjunction with Power FM for the Toowoomba Rugby League. Proudly brought to you by Hutchie's Builders.
If you're in business and interested in advertising on Power TV or Power FM, you can contact us by phone or email. The contact details are on the screen.